What up YouTube, your boy the Flying Span here. Today we have a Australian model airport update for you, and today there's a fair bit going on. So well, I say a fair bit. For the Australian airport there's 6 aircraft on the board, so it's generally actually a busy period for it. So in this update I think there's a showcase of I think I've done the unboxing for the model, I think I've done the unboxing for the models. But there's 2 new models, kind of, I think I haven't featured in an update yet, so we got them. So let's crack on and see how it goes. So it's kind of night-time-ish, well, I'll say it's night-time-ish. It's 10:15 in the evening, well, today, not now. It's 10:15 in the evening, so we have a bit of cargo ops going on, so don't usually come out, but we've got them. So we have the Qantas Freight Australian Post A321 passenger to freighter. This aircraft is arriving in and departing out to Melbourne. Kind of operates like an evening service, I believe. Most evenings anyway, looking at the schedule. Yeah, that's from Melbourne. Then what seems to be a regular on the board, we have the Virgin Australia 737-800. This aircraft's in from Brisbane, and I believe it stays here for the night. I think all of these are night stops apart from the 2 freighters. Yeah, that's a night stop. Yeah, they're all night, apart from the 2 freighters, they're night stopping. So yeah, this Virgin Australia 73 has arrived in from Brisbane and will depart out to Brisbane on the morning service. It arrived in arrived in about an hour ago. So just being decated, and the lavatories and waters being serviced before the aircraft is then put to sleep as such. Then next to that we have the NG models. Air New Zealand Star Alliance A321neo. This aircraft arrived in from Norfolk Island and departs out to Auckland in the morning. And this model is the first time getting it on the board. I knew of course the All Blacks livery was nice, but this adds another level of simplicity and well, good looks. NG are really rocking out with the black liveried aircraft. They've got the Titan 321neo in the Four Seasons livery, which is pretty much the same, just with Four Seasons and Four Seasons logo on the tail. But yeah, this aircraft arriving from Norfolk Island and departs out to Auckland, just being cleaned, and yeah, we'll be put to sleep shortly after that, or once all the servicing has been done, and then it's ready for the morning flights. Apart from that, couple regionals and another freighter you probably saw, just having some maintenance done. It arrived in ages ago. Looking at the schedule, the Alliance Fokker 100. This aircraft arrived in from Phosphate Hill and departs out to Cloncurry in the morning. Once again, there's loads of little morning departures. Generally these Alliance only operate during the week because they are I think they're mining flights. So yeah, that's a reason for that. Just having some maintenance, so it's ready for its next few days of operations. Then we have, let's zoom a bit. We've got a FedEx 767. This is one of the newer Gemini releases that came out a couple months ago. Just being pushed back and making the stand available for the Qantas 321 freight. This aircraft will be heading out to, operates, where's it arriving from? Arrives and departs into Sydney. They kind of add it on, and this is a complete fancy route, so I'm just trying to think of something interesting. Right, arrives in from Sydney and then heads out to Auckland before then it can make the transatlantic hop over, or it can bubble around wherever it wants to go. Yeah, arrives in from Sydney, heads out to Auckland, and then it will come in kind of in a few days' time in from Auckland into Sydney, kind of like a little passing stop between the two. Then the final aircraft, we have the Rex Saab Air 340. This aircraft arrived in from Higginton, and I believe departs out to Higginton in the morning. Let's just have a quick look. Oh no, arrived in from Higginton and departs out to Winton. So it's got a massive layover. It doesn't go till 11:15 the next day. Something a bit different, and I do like the styles. They are very, especially you can get nice close to them, get the detail. It's a lovely shot. I got the fuel valve in the background and then GP on the front. There's a nice thing of this OS update, especially that corner stand, because it does make the views. Everything looks very cool. So I have just been toying around with something while I was setting up the models. I can put the models, something I didn't. I wanted these stands. The idea why they were diagonal is I wanted them to be drive out stands or taxi out stands, where there'd be a little turning circle when they'd come in. But obviously that never worked out, and we didn't have the space for them because they do require a massive amount of space for that. It is actually better. So what I can get if I put the aircraft straight in, I can get three stands. These two up here would be straight, would be 321 compatible. This one here would be 738 compatible. So with the airport, we've got pretty much 737s coming in from Virgin Australia, then Airbus 320s and 321s from Air New Zealand, Jetstar, of course the Qantas one, which would probably still go on that stand, and then the other ones are all smaller aircraft, 717, Saabs, Fokkers, etc. So it is something I'm kind of think I might do, because then it just adds a little bit of capacity. If we can have three normal sized aircraft, and then there would be another stand up here which would be for like a Fokker 100, even the Rex could fit in there, but this wide body stand would stay the same. There'd still be the one wide body stand which would be mainly used for the freighters and the domestic wide bodies from Perth. But at least if I had these stands here, then it means you can get 3 normal aircraft in, or which would keep that wide body stand kind of free for wide bodies, because I'm in toying. I always thought this would be a domestic with a bit of, I still never knew how New Zealand work with Australia. I assume it is separate, but being mainly domestic flights. But I am toying with the idea to add a bit of variety, and just have like a one long haul flight here and there, say from Cathay or Singapore or Malaysia or something like that, just to add a bit to variety, which we all like, a good bit of variety. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the update. Thank you very much for watching it, and have a very good weekend. I'll see you in the next video. Adios and goodbye.